Have you ever wondered how to grow a peach tree from a store-bought peach? It's not as far-fetched as it might sound. In fact, with a little patience and the right steps, you can turn that juicy peach you just enjoyed into a blossoming tree. But let's be clear, this isn't an overnight project. Growing a peach tree from a pit involves a process that's as fascinating as it is rewarding. From selecting a ripe, organic peach, cleaning and preparing the pit, to planting and nurturing it into a seedling, and finally, watching it mature into a tree. And yes, it might even bear fruit, although it's worth noting that fruit may not be identical to the original peach due to the complex nature of plant genetics. So, are you ready to get your hands a bit dirty and learn something new? Stick around to learn how to embark on this rewarding journey of growing your own peach tree. The first step in growing a peach tree is preparation. It all starts with a ripe, organic peach. Why organic? To avoid any harmful chemicals that could hinder the growth of your future tree. The peach should be juicy and delicious, indicating a large and healthy pit inside. Once you've enjoyed the fruit, turn your attention to the pit. It's crucial to remove all the flesh and give it a thorough rinse under cold water. This helps prevent any mold from forming. After washing, let the pit dry out completely. For those willing to take an extra step, consider stratification. This process simulates winter dormancy and can boost your germination rates. Simply wrap the cleaned and dried pit in a damp paper towel, place it in a sealed plastic bag, and let it chill in your refrigerator for 6 to 8 weeks. Once you've prepared your peach pit, it's time to move on to the planting stage. Now let's dive into the planting process. Choosing the right pot and soil is crucial for your peach pit's journey to becoming a tree. A well-draining pot with a drainage hole is a must to prevent waterlogging, which can stunt growth or even cause the pit to rot. As for soil, a good quality potting mix, rich in organic matter, will provide the nutrients your future peach tree needs. Next, it's planting time. You may choose to slightly crack open the pit, but this is optional. Plant the pit 1 to 2 inches deep in the pot with the pointy end down. This depth gives the pit the darkness it needs while also keeping it close enough to the surface to allow the sprout to emerge. After planting, water the soil lightly, ensuring it's moist but not soggy. The pot should then be placed in a sunny location for optimal growth. With the pit planted and cared for, you'll need to patiently wait for germination. This is where your patience truly gets tested, the germination phase. Germination is a process that doesn't happen overnight. It's a waiting game that can take several weeks to months, depending on various factors such as the quality of the pit, the atmospheric conditions, and the amount of care you provide. It's much like waiting for a kettle to boil. It seems to take forever when you're watching, but one day you'll glance over and a tiny sprout will have emerged from the soil. This sprout is your baby peach tree, and like any youngster, it needs your attention and care. The seedling will need regular watering, but remember, it's important to keep the soil moist, not soggy. Too much water can lead to root rot, which can be detrimental to your baby tree. Along with water, your seedling will need plenty of sunlight. A sunny location, ideally a south-facing window, would be perfect. As your seedling grows, it will begin to consume the nutrients in the soil. This is where fertilization comes in. A balanced, slow-release fertilizer can provide your growing tree with the nutrients it needs to thrive. However, be careful not to over-fertilize, as this can harm your tree. Now, as your seedling grows, there will come a time when it will outgrow its current pot. Much like a child outgrowing their shoes, your peach tree will need a larger space to expand its roots. This is when you'll need to repot your tree. Choose a larger pot with good drainage, fill it with quality potting soil, and gently transfer your tree. Remember, repotting can be stressful for plants, so it's important to keep an eye on your tree after the process. Continue your regular watering, sunlight, and fertilizer routine, and your tree should bounce back in no time. Remember, growing a peach tree from a seed is a long-term project that requires patience and dedication. But the reward of seeing your own tree grow and eventually bear fruit is truly priceless. Now that you've successfully grown a seedling, it's time to think about the final phase, fruiting. The fruiting phase is the most anticipated part of growing a peach tree. It's a magical moment when the first peach appears on your tree. But keep in mind, it's a long journey to reach this stage. Peach trees grown from pits typically take anywhere from 5 to 7 years, or even longer to bear fruit. So patience is indeed a virtue when it comes to peach farming. Now let's talk about the fruit itself. You may notice that the fruit your tree produces isn't identical to the parent peach. This is due to the complex nature of plant genetics. But don't be disheartened. Each fruit is unique and carries its own charm. You'll still have the satisfaction of enjoying a peach that sprouted from your care and dedication. If you're keen on getting fruit that's similar to the parent peach, consider grafting. This technique involves attaching a branch from a known variety onto your tree, increasing the chances of getting fruit and desired characteristics. It's fascinating how we can influence the characteristics of our homegrown peaches, isn't it? Now on to some additional tips for successful peach tree growth. First, choose a peach variety known for being good for growing from seed. Varieties like Sunglow or Alberta are popular choices. They're known for their hardiness and delicious fruit, making them ideal for home growers. Next, don't underestimate the power of expert advice. Reach out to your local gardening club or nursery for guidance specific to your region and climate. They can provide valuable tips and tricks tailored to your specific situation. Finally, remember to be patient and consistent with your care. Growing a peach tree from a seed requires time, dedication, and a whole lot of love. But the reward of biting into your homegrown peach, juicy and sweet, is worth every effort. Remember, growing a peach tree from a store-bought peach is a rewarding but long-term project. Patience, consistent care, and a little bit of luck will lead you to success. Happy growing. Please like and subscribe for more.